you know, here's the thing. So I'm a black man. I know. If you didn't know that, now you know, right? I'm a black guy. And I've addressed this on my show. I've addressed this on television. I've addressed this beyond belief. The perils of being a black man in America, walking while black, driving while black, just plain out being black to the police is, you know, you basically have at minimum a search warrant on your back, maybe a death warrant at maximum. But that problem also exists for our brown brothers and sisters, especially our brown brothers, which brings us to a case in Los Angeles where a federal judge ordered a suburban Los Angeles city on Tuesday to release the video of a fatal shooting of an unarmed man 2 years ago. So the police have done everything in their power to try to hide this video from the public viewing. They put gag orders on it, all this stuff. Now this video is about Ricardo Diaz-Zeferino. Now, him and his brother at the time had basically, somebody had stolen one of their bikes and they were looking to try to find the bike, right? And he was shot and killed by the police, and the link is below if you watch it on YouTube. You can take a look at the video. But, you know, Gardena, the city that he's from, is to pay $4.7 million to settle the lawsuit with the family of the dead man and another wounded man, and the judge ordered for the video to be released to the public. And the video is pretty damning. In the video, you see the three men standing there with their hands up, right? And one guy, and as one guy's explaining to the police, listen, this is not what happened. You got the wrong people. And he's moving his hands just like I'm moving my hands now if you're watching this on YouTube. And the police order just opened fire on him, basically. He's clearly not armed. Clearly not, you know, charging towards the police. You know, not charging towards the police. Just say, listen, this is what happened. And the police are about 10 to 15 feet away and they just shoot him. Like, they straight up shoot him. A couple shots. Killed him dead. Right? It's sad. Now, here are the facts. That an autopsy found that he was drunk and had methamphetamines in his system. But public intoxication, if I remember correctly, is not a death sentence. Neither is methamphetamines. Those are both non-violent crimes, which the president, we'll talk about later in the show. The president addressed both of those brilliantly this week, and we'll talk about later in the show. But, you know, it's troubling to me that, one, the police tried to hide this from the public. But what makes it even more troubling is that these two individuals, one shot, one wounded, were harmed by the police for doing nothing wrong. But when you think about it, it's sort of inescapable from what we see play out each and every day across this country. Take the case of Eric Garner, where Eric Garner was choked to death by police for selling a cigarette. Or Tamar Rice, who, yes, indeed, was playing with a toy gun, but the gun was clearly a toy, and the 911 call in particular, the guy says, I think he's playing with a toy gun. And the police walk up and they just shoot him in the face. Right? So even if all those folks out there who believe, oh, well, we can't really talk about the Mike Brown case because Mike Brown charged at the cop and blah, 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 and he didn't have his hands up. Mike Brown removed. You have at least 6 or 7 cases that we know of, and that's the key word, cases that we know of, where you've seen the police engage in the use of excessive force to the detriment of an unarmed black or brown man, and yet we're doing nothing about it as a country. While you have the president speaking out about it, you have folks across this country who are saying, you are blaming the police, black men need to learn how to respect the police, brown folks need to learn how to respect the police, and in my mind, I have respect for the police. We don't, and this is the larger piece, right? Eric Garner had respect for the police, right? Tamar Rice could have had respect for the police. Having respect for somebody doesn't mean anything if they are literally okay with shooting you like, you know, like target practice, which is what we're seeing happening. And I don't really care how you describe it. We have a larger problem on our hands. And now I think in those shootings and the ideal of unarmed black men being killed by the police unarmed is not separate and apart from the school to prison pipeline, or the pipeline to school to prison line, or the, you know, from schoolhouse to the jailhouse, whatever you want to call it. This ideal that we have these zero tolerance discipline policies in the school systems that basically subject black and brown boys proportionally more than any other subgroup, right, to harsher punishments. So you criminalize them early. You give them the fear of the police early. You take the respect away because police are badgering them and haggling them at 6 and 7 and 8 years old. And I'm not talking out of my ass here, America. I'm talking from, these are things I've seen with my own eyes. And not too far from our studio, down the street here, you have Chinatown, and Chinatown is, a lot of times you see a lot of young folks hang out there. And as while I do love the MPD, I'll never forget the time where I saw the MPD literally slam a 7-year-old black guy against a car for no reason in particular. That is a problem.